Hi everybody, it's Michael Redden again, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to handle estate taxes. And if you have any questions, leave a comment at the bottom of the video, or you can go to reddenlawoffice.com and schedule a planning session with me and we can talk about your situation. Now, in previous videos we talked about the estate taxes and who might actually be covered by them, who might have to pay them. Well, if you happen to be one of those Americans who does have to pay those things, there are basically three types of strategies that we're going to use to either minimize how much you have to pay or keep you from having to pay them altogether. The first one is we're going to delay when we have to pay the tax. And the way we do that is we leave everything to your spouse first. We don't have to give it to them outright if we want to put some of the controls on there in case our spouse gets remarried. We'll just give them to our spouse in a trust. And since the spouse is the benefit of them, if we've written that trust properly, we won't have to pay any kind of estate taxes until the second person dies. And if that person continues to use the money while they're alive, maybe they will have whittled that down enough so that there won't be estate taxes that are due. Another way that we kind of deal with this is we'll get that stuff out of our estate. Now, anything that you give away to your heirs and things like that and have 3 years pass won't be in your estate, so it's not counted in that total towards either that $3 million for Minnesota or that $11 million for the federal government for that threshold of when you've got to pay that tax. Sometimes we'll also sell these things to heirs, or maybe if we've got a business, we'll sell the business to a trust. That way we don't own the business. We just get that income stream that's coming, and we really can limit our exposure then because we're really only going to be taxed based on the value of that business at the time we sold it and how much is left to be paid to us, rather than that business keeps growing and we have an unpredictable amount of liability. The final way that we deal with the estate tax is basically to have someone else pay for it. And that's usually in the form of a life insurance policy. We get the insurance company to pay for it. So we look at what's going to be there. We think, hey, there may be $500,000 of liability or something like that. And then we get a life insurance policy that is held in a special kind of trust, so it's never counted towards our liability, and we let that life insurance policy sit there, and when we die, that trust gets the money and pays the government, and we've had someone else pay for the tax. It's usually a lot cheaper to pay those premiums over the years than to come out of pocket for $500,000 or so and pay those taxes, whatever they may be. So again, remember, our basic strategies are going to be to delay it to the second death and hope we've whittled some of that down, to get it out of our estate, whether we sell it or we give it away, or we plan for someone else to pay for it in the form of insurance. And usually people are going to use more than one of these strategies, some kind of combination of the three, and that's how you can minimize estate taxes impact on your estate as you leave it to your heirs, or maybe even get rid of it altogether. And if you have any questions, remember, leave a comment below. Or if you'd like to schedule a planning session with me, there's a link in the description. Or you can go to reddenlawoffice.com and click schedule a planning session.